Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is Lawrence Ross, aka Blind Lawrence. Thanks for checking out my YouTube channel. Hope you like what you see. Observing obscure observances, looking at the calendar for July 3rd, American Redneck Day. Rednecks and redneck culture are celebrated today. Redneck is a somewhat complicated term that means different things to different people, and its meaning has continually shifted over time. The word is applied to Americans dates to the late 19th century when it referred to farmers with sunburned necks. Shortly thereafter, some Southern Democratic populists wore redneck ties or kerchiefs as a symbol of pride and embraced the name. Similarly, in the early 20th century, coal miners who belonged to unions were also associated with the term and embraced it as well. However, the term has often since been used as a slur or a pejorative. As the 20th century progressed, the term became associated with poor Southern whites, particularly men, who usually lived in rural areas. They were seen as being unsophisticated and uneducated. Another similar term often used to describe them was hillbilly. Comic Sans Day. What do you think about Comic Sans? Love it or hate it, this sans serif font has caused quite a stir, so much so that two Dutch radio DJs, Cohen Swijnenberg and Sanderlang Tinga, created Comic Sans Day in 2009. It is not very often that a font engenders strong enough feelings for it to have its own holiday, especially when only 15 years after it came out into existence. Comic Sans was designed by Vincent Connor in 1994 and released by Microsoft the same year. Connor originally intended for it to be used in a computer user guide called Microsoft Bob. He saw that Times New Roman was being used in the beta version of the program in word balloons of cartoon characters and thought it was too formal of a font for the circumstances. He created the font by adapting it from the font of two comics that were in office at the time, The Dark Knight Returns and Watchmen. It wasn't finished in time to be used in Microsoft Bob, but it was included in Microsoft 3D Movie Maker and then began being included in Windows 95. Today is included on over 99% of Windows computers and over 90% of Macintosh computers. Maybe Comic Sans is the sarcastic font. Disobedience Day. By almost all accounts, today is dedicated to civil or social disobedience, which is also commonly known as civil or passive resistance. It is a day for learning about civil disobedience and for participating if you choose to do so. Civil disobedience is a kind of nonviolent protest. Participants refuse to obey laws and follow their conscience instead, while accepting the punishment for doing so in order to get concessions from the government. It has been used by various nationalist movements, the American Civil Rights Movement, and other social movements such as the labor and anti-war movements. Civil disobedience does not reject the whole system, but works within the system to make a change, even though laws are violated. Critics from the right say this type of protest shouldn't be used at all, and they view it as anarchy if someone can break any law they choose. Critics from the left say it doesn't go far enough, as it accepts the existence of political structure instead of trying to overthrow it. Drive your Corvette to Work Day. Many Corvette owners own other cars as well and often only drive their Corvettes on special occasions. Corvettes are regularly driven on beautiful days or are taken to car shows, but usually aren't used as commuter cars for work. But today is different. Today is Drive Your Corvette to Work Day, sponsored by Mid-America Motor Works, a supplier of aftermarket Corvettes and accessories. The date has taken place since 2001. The goal is to get as many Corvette owners as possible around the world to drive their car in order to show how popular the Corvette is. It takes place on the Friday closest to June 30th, the day in 1953, when the first Corvette came off the General Motors assembly line. Harley J. Earl is no stranger to designing cars. He redesigned the LaSalle in the late 1920s, designed the Buick Y-Job, which is seen as the first concept car, and also designed the GM LeSabre, Jaguar XK120. He then began working on Project Opel, which would turn into the Corvette. In its design, he took inspiration from the Jaguar XK120. On January 17, 1953, the Corvette was introduced at GM's traveling Motorama display at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York City. Now, folks, I'm not a car guy. Little red Corvette. Baby, you're much too fast. Little red Corvette.
You suck!
National Chocolate Wafer Day. And there is no information. National Compliment Your Mirror Day. National Compliment Your Mirror Day is a day when people look in their mirrors and affirm and acknowledge their inner and outer beauty and recognize their self-worth. They compliment themselves in their mirrors and then go out and live days of fulfillment. Let me just say this, folks. I think mirrors are overrated. National Fried Clam Day. I don't know about you, but I'm getting hungry. National Independent Beer Run Day. No information. Plastic Bag Free Day. No information. And then there's Stay Out of the Sun Day. There is no information. And that is the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Lawrence Ross. Hope you like what you saw. Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is Lawrence Ross, aka Blind Lawrence. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you'd like, you can check me out on my other social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, and yes, even Instagram.
That does not make sense.
All ending in /Blind Lawrence.
Cute.